Alright, hello my fellow Star Trek captains. My name is Derek Slide, and this video's purpose is to show you how how to start making some energy credits in STO. A lot of people complaining they can't make money in STO. So what I'm going to do is show you the very beginnings and basics of how to do so. To begin, I am going to get rid of all the energy credits on this character. This is one of my old ones. He's not he's not max level or anything. So I'm going to show you uh, what my strategy was way back in the day on how to make energy credits. This is really like the basics. This is how you are going to start making your fortune. And it all begins with duty officers. There's a black market out there, a slave trade, if you will, for duty officers. And I'm going to show you how to manipulate this. Well, manipulate. Big word, because really you're at the mercy of people's demand for white duty officers. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to use this. First things first, irrespective of what Fed-aligned character you have, Romulan or otherwise, you're going to need to come to Starfleet Academy. This doesn't work so well on Klingon side because, well, there aren't very many Klingons or Klingon characters still playing this game. So, everybody starts off with a complement of duty officers. Usually, the cap most people are going to start off with is going to be 100. I've increased mine to 400 on this character so that I could show you my strategy is to make money. First off, I should show you how to grind officers from green, blue, or rare quality down to white so that you can sell them. You're going to come over to here on Starfleet Academy. You're going to see this. This is the map. This is basically the northwestern part of the map. There is a personnel officer you're going to want to speak to. Most of you already know this. For those that don't, you're going to want to click on the exchange officers here. Now, why I don't suggest you, excuse me, why I don't suggest you go up with your duty officers is for multiple reasons. Two of those reasons are really important. First, the cost of lithium. So if you take 5 duty officers and you want to turn them into a green, it's going to cost you 500 dilithium. Dilithium is at a premium. Refined dilithium, rather, is at a premium. And usually I like to multiply it by 200 to get kind of an energy credit estimate of how much each dilithium is going to, how much each point of dilithium is worth. So if you do that here, you'll see it's about 10,000 energy credits to transform a white duty officer into a green. That is not that bad. But the reality is, how much are you going to sell that green duty officer for? Well, if you're unlucky, you'll probably get one that is worth maybe 30,000 credits. So you've just gotten 20,000 profit. Sounds good, right? Except for dilithium, you can only get 8,000 a day. It's not the way I'd like to make money. If you get lucky and, for example, you get a technician, maybe you'll make 60,000 energy credits. Still, you have to get lucky for it to be worth your while, and chances are, with the amount of duty officers that are out there and the ones that can come out of this particular trade, you're not going to get lucky. It's not a good deal. It only gets worse from there if you take 5 uncommon duty officers, which, by the way, I mean 5 white duty officers can be sold for about 100 to 150,000 energy credits. So the profit ratio right there, you're losing a lot of money. And it gets worse as you go up. 2,500 dilithium, well, that's 50,000 energy credits. You just lost. Actually, it's more than that, isn't it? It's like 5. Anyway, long story short, you just lost more money. Sure, you've got a rare now, but it's definitely not worth it. And if we go to rare duty officer assignment, they're going to charge you 5,000 refined dilithium for it. They increased these costs earlier in the season launches. I don't really remember when, but ever since they did, nobody uses this anymore. The few that do are unaware of the exorbitant price they're paying. So it's important you don't fall into this trap. Trap number 1. So, now what kind of duty officers do you want to grind down? Well, that's a complicated subject, and for now, I would recommend you avoid grinding down rare and very rare duty officers until you understand which ones are worth grinding down and which ones are not. And I'll make a video for that later. Right now, I want to focus on uncommon. There is almost no uncommon duty officer worth selling on the exchange. The only ones worth selling on the exchange are maybe refugees and consultants. And again, that's a subject I'm going to cover later. For now, I want to keep it short, keep it simple, so that people can absorb information slowly. So, how do you do it? Well, you've got a new duty officer assignment added. It says you select a green duty officer. I'd like to get rid of all my civilians. They're pretty worthless, except for the refugees. People need refugees for a specific mission to get better duty officers, so those can be worthwhile. Don't throw those away. But chefs, nobody needs a chef. Nobody needs bartenders that are green or uncommon, rather. They're not really worth it. Same with science, medical operations, almost all in engineering and tactical. So let's see this Israel Michael Moni guy. Gone. Goodbye. Wait, you weren't that popular anyway. You click on completed and you wait for the mission to complete. Now it takes 5 seconds. And look, we've turned one green duty officer with a worth of 30,000 into 3 white duty officers with an unknown worth. Let's see which ones we got, and I will see if it was a worthy deal. So these are worth about 25,000 each, so 50, and this is worth maybe 10,000. So we've gotten 60,000 worth of revenue out of something that was worth 30,000. We doubled our money. The profit margin here would be 30,000 energy credits. This doesn't sound like a lot, but you've got 40 slots on the exchange. Let's go check that out. I already have stuff up on the exchange. I'm going to have to take it all down so that I can show you what the strategy is. For those of you who are Dune fans, this is Paul Atreides. I tried to make him look as close as possible to what I envisioned Paul looking like. My whole bridge crew is actually made up of characters from the books. So, big Dune fan. And for those of you who are too, you'll probably get a kick out of that. I will have to show you my bridge eventually. So, we're here at the exchange. I don't really know where that came from, but anyway. Let's get rid of all these guys, or as much as I can, so I can show you. You'll notice that I'm jumping. The spacebar actually functions as an OK button, or an enter button in this thing, so it's just faster for me to take everything out of here, out of my exchange, than actually clicking it one by one. So how are we going to determine how to sell duty officers? Well, we're going to look at the prices. I do not use the first one as a benchmark. People are lazy, inherently so. So they'll go to the first one, and oftentimes they'll pay whatever prices are demanded there. The reason people are buying white duty officers, by the way, is for this, the Starbase. Now, our Starbase, the fleet that I'm part of, the 528, is full. We don't really need anything done anymore, any duty officers or whatnot. But people need exorbitant amount of duty officers to fill these slots, and there are a ton of fleets out there. So there's almost always demand for it, but the supply fluctuates. So right now, for example, we want to see what the supply is like. There's 77 duty officers on the exchange. I'm only looking at Fed, although if I'm not mistaken, and maybe they changed it, you can use the Klingon ones to fund your Starbase, ironically enough. But again, like I said, this is a slave trade, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Alright, so we're looking at the average price here. People are going to need, I always average, they're going to need around 30 to 50 duty officers when they're coming here to buy. And they've got, you know, a whole bunch of departments that they can go get these duty officers out of. So we look here, con officers are selling from 20. This is an outlier because this won't, if you put them all at 20, they'll sell. But you can make more than that. Because the reality is, again, like I said, people are lazy. They need 30 to 50 for their projects on average, and they're going to pay more than 20. So if we look here, we've got people setting up their prices from anywhere from 29 to 35, let's say. where can you put your price? I would say putting it at even 30 would be profitable, but only for the con officers. If we go down to energy, there's no guarantee that the prices will be similar because supply will be higher. So this is what I mean. And for those of you who need duty officers for your starbase, please, by all means, check every one of these. Don't be lazy. You could save yourself some energy credits, a minute amount, but nonetheless that adds up. So if we look at the average here, once more, I would say less than 30 because you really want to move your product. You don't want it to sit there in the exchange forever as well. There's no point to that. So I would say 28,000 or 29,000 would be perfect, and you could put all your duty officers at this price. We verify the other ones. I think 29,000 is probably spot on. So that's what you'd do. Keep in mind you're going to be competing with other people, and a lot if people watch this video and make use of it. Does that mean you should lower your prices? Not necessarily. If everyone lowers their prices, the market will crash. And if because there's too much supply. And if the market crashes, you won't be able to use this method to make money anymore. So the reality is you should always manage your prices so that you keep them higher. Now, this is simply what happens in the real world. I mean, take gasoline for example, or oil. The price of oil crashed recently, but did we start paying a lot less? Not really. In fact, the price is going back up now, what we're paying. What does that mean? Well, they're fixing the price. They know that the price will eventually go back up, and they still want to make profit. So they keep the price up. And that only makes sense in this instance. Sure, that there are plenty of fleets that won't, quote-unquote, need duty officers anymore, but why would you lower your prices so that it's no longer worthwhile for you? It doesn't make sense. And anybody using this guide should keep that in mind. So like I said, 29,000 seems to be a good price point for you to make money on this particular day rather. So this is how you would, determine whether or not, or determine how much you could make from your duty officers to sell. You look at the supply, the amount that are on the exchange. Look at various departments, and you would sell your duty officers. What happens when you're out of white and green and all the worthless duty officers to sell? Where are you going to get new ones? I'm going to cover most of that in another video. I wanted to keep this short so that you could absorb this part of it and maybe start using it right away. I won't be making these videos every day. I'll be taking my time. So maybe you'd like to start with this and move on to the next one as soon as the next video on duty officers and profit come out. But essentially what you can do for now is look at where these duty officers come from, and there are many places. You can get some for free back at that personnel officer I was just at, the same place you would grind down these duty officers. You can also get some from duty officer packs on the exchange, and here's where you can make even more energy credits. I'll explain. People every day who log on to Star Trek Online are using their energy credits or Zen or dilithium to Zen to buy keys, and they're opening lock boxes. And these lock boxes generally have a chance of dropping all sorts of things, but mostly the biggest chance is that they'll drop duty officer packs, little mini packs. You can buy them. So let's check the price of a mini pack. You'll see that people are selling these from anywhere from 110 to higher. Usually, actually, I pick up my packs at 100,000. But anyway, you can see those are the prices. Now, why would you buy a pack to get a pack? Why would you buy a pack to sell? Well, it's simple. When you open a pack, you have chances of getting 4 random duty officers with at least 1 or green or better. So worst case scenario, you're going to get 3 white and 1 green, and that green can be ground down into 3 more white. So that's 6 duty officers. Those 6 duty officers can be sold, let's say, at 29 to 50,000 each for a profit. And the reality is that you can sell, if you get lucky, for example, and get 3 whites and a blue, or 3 whites and a purple, or 2 greens, you've just made even more. So yes, it's kind of gambling, But this is the way you can make more energy credits, or you can continue to make energy credits uh, by opening these packs and getting lucky or unlucky in some cases. You'll still make money using this method. Keep in mind that you want to buy the packs as cheaply as possible. So buying them at, for example, 150,000 energy credits is not going to be anywhere near as profitable. In fact, you might just break even, uh, as opposed to buying them at 100 to. I like to, like I said, I like to buy mine at 100,000. If they're at 110,000 or even 120,000, that's not bad, but it's not good either. So keep that in mind. This is where you would get some of your duty officers to sell. You know what? I'm going to take the time before I end this video to show you how you can get duty officers for free just here on Starfleet Academy. There are plenty of places you can get duty officers. You can get colonists and you can sell them on the exchange. Colonists is a free mission. I believe maybe I'll be able to get it here, luckily enough. No, I think I got, yeah, this is the relocate mission. This is not what I wanted. There's a mission that usually your department head under operations officer will get, and it's a resettle colonists or get colonists for resettling. You sign 3 guys and they eventually give you 5 colonists. Each colonist is worth anywhere from 15 to 30 on any given day depending on demand. So that's 100,000 energy credits for free if you think about it right there. Each one of these officers at Starfleet Academy have a culture exchange mission. So you can begin this mission and you have a chance, you'll get a Vulcan duty officer, and you have a chance, of course, at getting more if you get a critical. The duty officer actually has a chance to be very rare, so on occasion you'll get lucky, and maybe you'll get a better officer. You can do these missions across all your characters. I believe they have a cooldown of 30 hours, maybe more. But if you do them all, and there's various ones interspersed around the map. This is the Vulcan. If I'm not mistaken, the Tellarite's somewhere around here, or the Andorian. There's an Andorian and a Tellarite. There's the Tellarite. He's speaking with the Andorian. Irony. I don't think those two races enjoy each other's company that much. Alright, so there you go. Pick up this mission, and then pick up this Tellarite's mission as well. So that's 3 free ones so far. And we're going to go back inside here, and I'm going to show you how to... is it her? It is her. I don't know, because I so rarely do these anymore. Yeah, it's her. So you don't want to do general recruitment. General recruitment would give you a junior officer cadre pack, but it costs 1,000 dilithium. So it's like you're throwing away your most valuable resource to maybe get duty officers that are higher quality. Let me be honest with you. This is a terrible trade. Don't do this. You got a whole bunch of free ones down here. You get tactical officer, engineering officer. I'll just do them just so you can see. Ooh, they have 48 hours. Ugh, that's disgusting. Anyway, you do these. You don't do this one again. This costs dilithium, and there are easier ways to get R&D items, and I'll be covering that in a much later video. I'll be covering most of STO, how to make money, how to craft items, how to build builds cheaply, canon builds, not actual cannons. Builds that will help you get through the game better, and of course I have a build for those of you who know how the DPS in this game is, how it works. I have a build that can do 60,000 pretty regularly, 60,000 damage per second in a scimitar. It's a Romulan character, and I'll explain all of that in later videos. My intent is to create these videos to help the community at large. I've been playing this game since beta, and there's a vast amount of knowledge that's been accumulated that that doesn't, the game doesn't explain this to you. The tutorials are woefully underinformed. I mean, I didn't learn any of this through tutorials. Most of my learning comes from reading patch notes, trolling the forums, and paying attention to chat channels and asking for help. Although I have noticed the community lately to be somewhat caustic when it comes to responding to questions for help. There's a lot of angry people out there. Not sure why. So let's look at this real quick. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think 4, 5, 6, 7. What the hell happened? Oh, I scrolled here. Okay, so that's 6 there plus. So that's 10 duty officers for free. Some of which might be green, blue, or even if you're lucky, very rare. I've actually gotten like an ultra rare duty officer out of this thing when I used to do it all the time. It was a con officer, a Zindi insectoid. Worth a lot. Worth a lot. I don't know if it's this character I did it with. Maybe. Maybe not. Nope, not this one. Anyway, long story short, that is how you can get some free duty officers, and of course some ones you'd have to buy off the exchange to begin your cycle of energy credit making. I suppose I should show an example of how many, or I'll just tell you. For example, I was testing this out over the last 3 days. I made a spreadsheet, observed the prices, and started selling duty officers. I think I made 2 or 3 million energy credits per character. I did it on 3 or 4 characters per day. And I wasn't spending a lot of time doing this. I think 2 or 3 hours setup, and I would log in every once in a while just to check and restock the exchange with duty officers to sell. So 3 million per character. I had 4 characters doing this. That's 12 million energy credits over the course of a day, and you can repeat that every day. Maybe you won't have the same success, or you'll have more success. I don't know. It really all depends on fleet demand. And that will be all for this video. My name is Derek Slide. I hope this helped some people out there determine how to start making a fortune in Star Trek Online. Thanks for watching.